I see the seconds down there, so I think it's live. I'm not sure how much of that was captured. If it wasn't, oh well, I'll figure that out in the process. This is the first time I scheduled something, truly scheduled it. I did a little test schedule last week, and I didn't actually get to analyze that. So now this one was scheduled, I think, a few days in advance, like 5 days in advance. I'll be able to check out how it looked at the startup. But anyway, yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So what's up, fellas? Today we're going to be looking at market structure. I want to try and talk about thinking about taking a long position here. So I'm going to be on the stream. I'm going to try and be here. We got about 2 hours on the clock. Last time someone was looking and we said an 8-hour stream would be awesome. What's up, Lucas? I see your rockets. So it looks like yeah, it looks like you guys wanted like an 8-hour stream. I said I'd work on that. So we're going to practice a 2-hour stream. My girlfriend's softball games, I'm not going to be able to attend today. Just, sometimes we're going to have to work through it. But she knows that. She's supporting what I'm doing. So she's going to win her games. I'm going to talk to you guys about crypto. So this might look a little bit confusing. I'm on the 15-minute chart. Basically, what I want to get started with here is I'm going to try and take a little bit, not a swing position, more of a day trade. Probably going to run the duration of this stream. So what I'm looking at here is I'll talk a little bit more about we'll try and take some scalps. We'll talk about market structure more here in a second, but before any more time passes this right here, I want to just take a look quickly at what we have. This doesn't really look like a divergence to me. This immediate formation here, this would be a lower high on RSI, this would be a low point on the RSI, and this would be a lower low on the RSI, and the candlesticks represent that data as well. But here what I'm looking at is this was a lower point on the RSI, and on the candlesticks it was a low point. And moving forward, we look at the next low in candlestick action, and that dip touched that line pretty solidly. That could be the support touch there. But what's more interesting is that the RSI is now at a higher point than the previous low, even though it would be considered a dip or the valley of this point. So this might set up the entry for long opportunities. So what I'm just going to go ahead and do here, we're going to try and scalp as well, but I'm going to try and ration a long entry here. So if I wanted to wager a long in any scenario, this is counter trend trading right here. This is a downtrend. This is a lower low represented by this value here. So I want to see how far I can really long up. Very first line of defense I'll see is right here by this low point, which wouldn't really constitute, let me just go ahead and get that in here. And this wouldn't really constitute a 1% margin. I mean, I'm not sure if that's going to prompt me to take this risk here. So if I wanted to set up right now, which I do because I'm streaming to you guys here. What's up? Hey, look, just in time. Nice. Patrick, what's up? More comments. Boy Tamilo. Hello, sir. Not sure how to pronounce your name. Greetings. Hi, Aggie. How many times do you do the stream? Used to be every 2 weeks, but now I'm trying to get into the rhythm more so of once a week. So we can bring you guys streams once a week. So yeah, right now I'm just trying to look at taking a long position, and I'm not taking this position yet. I'm trying to set it up to where it looks like it makes sense. So the first thing I'm going to take note of here, I'm just going to zoom out and see this trend line comes from, it comes from once upon a time. Okay, so it comes from these two low points here, so that could be a really nice support touch. It might spill beneath that a little bit. But I want to make sure my stop loss doesn't trigger me out right here, because I don't really know if I'm taking the long. I don't really just want to enter here just to get stopped out. Like if I put it in right here, it's very possible price could just come right, even within this candlestick, could dip back down into this range and pull up. So I want to be careful about where I place my stop loss and not to just place it somewhere it's going to get immediately triggered. So that is the first thing that I'm going to consider when trying to take a long. Let me just take a look here real quick too. Yeah, so I'm seeing this on the 1 hour as well. This could spill in a little bit more. Here. The RSI downward and still come to meet at parallel. But so far this low, this low is way lower than this one. So that would be some type of divergence there. So I want to try and map this out. If I'm looking even on the hourly now, I can see this took about 5 hours. Live stream's not going to be 5 hours, but if I'm just trying to look 5 hours ahead, that's about where it could expire. So that's 1800. Cool. You're welcome, Aggie. Oh, by the way, guys, we're going to be doing some altcoins as well. So I'm looking for you guys to take altcoin suggestions. So just leave them in the comments. Hi, Samantha. Just leave them in the comments. And whenever I'm done charting up this trade here, we'll go chart some altcoins and maybe look for some scalps in them if they're volatile enough. If you pick something with volume, we'll try to scalp it. So leave your altcoin suggestions in the comments, and we'll see which ones we can get knocked out. So I'm not going to solidify this just yet, but I'm just seeing 1.5 is, I can tolerate that. Normally, when I'm setting up a risk to reward ratio, I want to see what the a valid stop loss would be. And then I can give myself a take profit region, because if the stop loss doesn't make sense, then there's no reason to try and force a trade. But I could see that making sense at 1.5 if I could get this to at least 1.5 take profit for it to be 1-to-1. Otherwise, I might want to shrink this a bit, because there's no reason to take that much of a loss. Although we are day trading, this is not a scalp that we're setting up here. When we get into scalping, I'm going to be on the 1 minute time frame, and maybe we can get a couple of those knocked out. Hopefully 1 or 2. Let me move this to a different screen real quick, because it is killing me to look up right there, and then I'll get you guys right back on the right screen. Okay, there we go. All right, so just had to move my stuff around real quick. I was looking up, so now I'm just gonna look forward. Okay, so yeah, I can see a stop loss range right here making sense. Now I could try and adjust this entry too, try and, ration this out a little bit. But right there is where a stop loss would make sense. So now I want to get in and see. I'll go back to the 15 minutes to try and execute this. Here I see price got rejected from this. I wish I started the stream a few hours ago. That was a really good place to enter for a short. Seeing how it got rejected there. I mean, ultimately, it looked like it could have 3-barred through and hit that resistance point, but after this one closed, that was pretty indicative there. And I've also got some chicken scratch too, some trade scratch right here. I think actually, yeah, it's not too bad. But I've got some other stuff that you can't see, so it's on a really small time frame. We'll get into that too in a second. Right now, I can see from these wicks here, I'm poking over these ranges. So that would be like a downward wedge region. So that 1.5 take profit goal, I don't really know how confident I am in achieving that. So I'm just charting right now. Nothing's live for anyone here. And of course, probably should have said this at the beginning. I'm going to be trading in today's live stream, but this is not financial advice. So we're just trying to see how we could set up a position. I might even go with the short here. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to... First thing I noticed when I opened this chart was the divergence. So I want to see if I can capitalize on that. Now, let me see here. So that's about where we are. Which doesn't look terrible. So if you don't know what RSI divergence is, you can watch one of my other videos. I definitely have it labeled here. I don't think it's called What is RSI Divergence, but it's how to use the RSI indicator, and we talk about divergence in there. So this doesn't really look complete yet, but I feel like it's probably going to drop down, spill a little bit more. Maybe if the RSI comes back and touches, like, it's going to make a little downward movement, hopefully. But what we're looking at here is a form of divergence. Now, it doesn't appear to be as strong on the MACD, which is the moving average convergence divergence oscillator. We also have a video about how to use this indicator here. And I pretty much use the same indicators whenever I trade, because I'm comfortable with keeping it simple, and I know how to use these indicators. They work for me, so I make them work. Solana, I see Solana, noted. Alright, so here on the ADX, I do see that this trend, the downtrend, is gaining strength. So this rise up in the ADX means that the downtrend has gained strength. And it's actually far away from peaking out. It's peaked out at a higher range here and even here. a couple times. So it's possible that if this continues to carry the downward momentum, yeah, here was gaining downtrend strength, right? Trend is gaining strength. Just because this goes up doesn't mean price action has to go up. If this goes up or down, this is the strength of the trend. So when this is increasing, I think I have to sneeze. Watermelons? It worked. Okay. So when this is increasing, the trend is gaining momentum. The downtrend was gaining momentum here. Started to drop off, as we can see, a sharp buying pressure. So a lot of people started buying, and the downtrend lost its strength. Well, now it looks like the downtrend is starting to regain its strength. The MACD crossed up again. But here we are entering that territory where the MACD could do that cross. So this basically means that downside momentum is reducing. And as this goes back towards the median, it signals that the momentum is reducing. So this was a downtrend momentum, and now it's reducing. If we see a signal like we have here, which is a bullish cross. Pardon me, I'm going to get a drink of water real quick, fellas. I know we're going to be here for a while. I brought 2 bottles of water. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Yeah, so I'm already regretting not taking the entry because now our entry is offset and our risk to reward ratio is offset, but just going to continue through with the narration. Here, what's scaring me, the ADX is not really agreeing with me because I do want to take a long. I know that's counter trend trading, but the ADX tells me that this could be just like a little cool-off period, pullback type deal, because I don't want to get in this scenario where I'm just taking a long for 2 candlesticks and then price continues down. But we are certainly a long way from every moving average on the 15-minute time frame. So seems like it could play out in my favor. Now I'm just going to chart here what the 200 EMA is real quick and use multiple time frame analysis. I usually break it up into 3 frames like this. I just don't exactly want to confuse you, so I'll keep it into 3 frames though, because it just works. So now I have 15, 3, and 5. I actually want to use 1H and 4H. I'll just use 1H. Okay, fine. Take a look at it 4H too. This would be like a proper multiple time frame analysis. Sheesh Louise, that's a big dumper candle. So the MACD technically does show us a bearish cross there. Kind of figure it out. It couldn't push up for a bullish. And this downtrend could also continue. So maybe I don't want to take the long, even though there seems to be some divergence apparent on the 15-minute time frame. If I go back to the 15-minute, yeah, even though there does seem to be some divergence there. Man, it shows, like I said, it shows on the 1H too. Tough, man. This is what it takes to be a trader. So now you're really seeing what it's like to be a trader. ETH, AVAX, alright. AM, I don't really know what that is, but we can fit in Solana, ETH, and AVAX. If AM's a token, we'll look at AM2, and that'll be 4. So that'll be good. Isn't divergence most of the time counter trend trading? Yes, it is. It is. I always say not to counter trend trade, to trade with the trend because it's your friend. But right here, if I was waiting to trade with the trend, I'd wait for this to come and retest, for price to retest here. And then I'd try to hit the short or look at some other narrative for the short. So trading with the trend here is taking a short. If I'm looking at all these time frames, I mean, this is downtrend, this is downtrend. This doesn't really tell us that the downtrend is gaining strength on the 1H, but I mean, we're looking at downtrends all over the place. So divergence is counter trend trading, but it's riskier to counter trend trade. So that's, I mean, usually you take the risk, it pays out. But if it doesn't, it's a easy. If you take the risk and it doesn't pay out, it's just an easy stop. So that looks pretty good. That's a nice swing low. We've created a swing low here. I honestly think price could spill out a little bit more on the 4H. I mean, just making a pullback move and then get ready to shoot down and spill some of this character, more notion like this. You can see we broke out of this wedge type formation here, but we would be testing, like I said. Cool. So the 200 EMA on the 15-minute time frame is actually just about where the 200 EMA would be here. So it's going to come back up and either use that for resistance and shoot down, continue to shoot down, or a break above there, and that's where we're going to start to look for the turning point and upwards momentum. Excuse me, fellas. So yeah, I'm regretting not taking that entry whenever we had first looked at it, but now I feel like I have a better understanding of what the market's doing. Or at least some general sense of direction here. If it doesn't, because here we have this lining up here. It might look like a bunch of mumbo jumbo on the screen because there is a bunch of lines here. Here, I mean, ultimately too, when price gets to this is going to travel down some degree. Here it's not going to move too much, but if I set it up there, you'll see that's about where we could expect some nice resistance. So hopefully that'll occur in the stream if it breaks over here, and then we'll test this for resistance, and that could also be a really nice entry for a short side downside target. So damn, I want to take the long based off this divergence because I can even see it here, but the window is not great. We could ride to right there, and I already missed my entry. That's what upsets me the most. If I put it back right here, if I put it to where it is now, then it's not, the risk is greater than the reward. So maybe I'm not going to take this long, and I'm just going to wait for a short opportunity. So let us put a pin in BTC, and we could take a look at what was next. Solana. All right, looks like we got a couple people here now, fellas. What's up? So do you think that people are taking profit from the dip? Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. This spilled out. I was watching this just a few seconds ago, and I was like, well, not a few seconds ago. This was earlier today. I was watching this because I have BTC up here on this screen too, and I'm like, man, I should probably take that short. And I'm like, nah, they're gonna pump it. Because I was watching all this, I was like, nah, they're gonna pump it. I thought I was gonna find support here and pump up, and it just dumped out. I was like, oh man, that sucks. I watched like a 1% profit just pass me by. I could have shorted that. I thought about it, but that's what happens when you don't pull the trigger, right? You can think about shit all day, but if you don't pull the trigger, you don't make no money. And set it up, made sense, didn't pull the trigger. But anyway, shot down. So yeah, people are definitely profit taking right here. There's a little bit of profit taking from this short movement and also from this large breakout here. But this is pretty much confirmed to be going down. We have breakout from here. It didn't really even come close to retesting. And there's also, I don't know where this is from, but this is some resistance point I've tracked previously. So I know it's pretty close to confirming off that resistance point as well. So may as well just, it's very likely it's going to shoot down into this area. I mean, that's possible. But we're extending already on the 4H through the 200 EMA. And on the 1 day, it's about the end of the downside range for the 1 day. It could poke through and then ultimately find some support. So I wouldn't rule out a movement to like 41.8 in the next 5 to 8 hours or so. It's possible. So that's why I kind of want to be careful. Let me go back to the 4H now. Where did I leave off at? ICP USDT. Lucas, bro, my man. If we have any extra time, I'll take a look at it. But I already promised Solana, Ethereum, AVAX. And I don't know if AM is a question or not. Can you, oh, sorry about AM. There we go. I wanted to say, it's Caesar. What's up, Caesar? All right, perfect, Lucas. We can fit ICP in. That'll be the 4. That'll be the 4. Tapelo says, what are the possible upside movement for a newly listed coin on any exchange? Oftentimes, when a coin gets listed onto an exchange, it goes up and it goes down. Now, usually what happens is a lot of people buy the token before it gets to an exchange based off like a contract address from Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Binance Smart Chain, wherever you get the contract address from. A lot of people buy those types of tokens before they get to an exchange, so they're already in mad profits when it gets to the exchange. And then they just start profit taking, and they start dumping because they have accumulated large positions of the coin even before they come to the exchange. Now, when they come to the exchange, it definitely opens the doors for a lot of people to trade it and more volume to enter the token. But at that point, the movements will become stale and nowhere near as volatile as you will see before an exchange listing. An exchange listing really does delete a lot of volatility, simply because it adds more volume. That doesn't mean it can't be volatile, but you're just not going to see those 100% swings that you would like. If you've looked at any shit coin or token that's a brand new token that gets listed, it has like a huge price spike. Most of them spike up over 1,000%. And when they get to the exchange, if they're fortunate enough to see an exchange listing, those type of movements become stale very quickly. LTC, what's up, dude? You want us to see LTC? I cannot pronounce your name, sir. MNQOBI, but thank you for being here. Can you try and type out how I can pronounce that? Because I would say Munkobi. Munkobi. I think that's how you would say that, but that's how I would say that. LTC, sir, I can't fit in this one, but we will fit it in another. We'll fit it in another live stream. I promise. LTC is something I look at all the time, so pretty. Got that one pretty well covered. Balor, Avax, Zapello, we've got him chosen, sir. Do I see a divergence on 4H2? I mean, that's what is kind of with all this. Let me. Yeah. So right here with this happening, this is creating a lower low, and this right here, I feel like hasn't caught the end of it yet. This might be able to make some kind of move down, but not too sure. This could be the really strong bullish. Oh, hell, look at that 15-minute pumping. Why didn't we enter? We should have pulled the trigger, guys. Should have pulled the trigger. Look, I just took that away. That's probably like right through the TP goal. Let me put that back on. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Fuck, man, that would have been perfect, bro. Look at that. Would have been great. But we didn't take it. So, damn, maybe we should have. It's all good. It's all good. We'll recalculate, reanalyze. Like I said, there's still plenty of time left in the stream to make something happen. So we'll make something happen. All fact. Wow at BTC. I know, man. I know. Damn it. Damn it. Trust your TA. Trust your TA. Look, we could be in a profitable position now. Even if it wasn't profitable at first, like we had to manage it down here. There's always some type of management. If you did get in on this, if you were live, you'd have to manage your emotions right now and decide to do something with this stop loss. Once you get into profits, you shouldn't leave that stop loss there. You should adjust it to entry. Again, I did not take this position. Really wish we would have, though, because now we could be trying to chase it up. But that was a short-term floor right there. So maybe I can catch the short side entry I want after all. I knew this was a counter trend trade, and I thought it would expire after some time. Like right here is where I thought it would expire. That move would play out over that time. So maybe it still continues up. I'm not too sure, but I'm not ready to take my short just yet based off that. Let's go ahead. Yeah, I said this a while ago, but anyway, let's put a pin in BTC. I'll come back to BTC. Let's take a look at some of these altcoins you suggested. So we got Solana. We'll go ahead. I'm gonna move this off my screen for a little bit. Put it over here, and bring another TradingView tab up. Oops, sorry. If I cross over OBS, it starts to lag. I'm also using this PC to mine, so there's a little bit of GPU power being taken up right now. But it's all good. So, yeah, I'm going to go to one window. I'm not going to be using the trade analysis time frame anymore. Let's just go ahead and look at Sol USDT. I think I have that charted on Bybit decently. Might be on Binance, I suppose. Oh, damn, I left it all the way back here. Okay, cool. So not too much charting here, at least on Bybit, which is where I'll be trading this. So just real quick for a difference in exchange comparisons, I can see that Bybit's data only begins right here in 29th of June 2021. So if I wanted more price action, I can check other exchanges because some exchanges have listed it before others and carry different amounts of data. So like for example, Binance, see, it cut off right, Bybit cut off right here, but Binance has much more price action history. So we can go back and see that price action history here begins August 11th, 2020. So that just gives you more to work with. Like I said, I don't know if this would even be visible. Yeah, that portion's really not even visible there. So since I might take a trade in this if we could find a reason to. So let's just go ahead and start with it. Looks like it's pretty naked here. So I will say at least this is a valid downtrend projection. I know it hasn't been touched 3 times. So normally if we're trading it, if we're going to be trading a downtrend line, we want it to touch 3 times. So there's a really good example of, I think Solana did have that channel, or Mana had a really good channel the other day. Let me see if I can find that channel. If it's not in mana, I'm not going to spend 10 years looking for it. Okay, perfect. We had this channel right here in mana, and we could play these touches even on the daily time frame. We could play these touches for its third confirmation here. We have this is where it starts, 1, 2, 3. We can short from here on the way down. We can short from here on the way down, short from here after this touch. And if it touched again, we could short from there confidently because it touched several times. But now let me go back to Solana. Okay, so here, this is just a projection. So this is not a definitive, as soon as it hits there, we're going to short it confidently with everything that we have in our wallets. What this means is we can look for a conflict in price action when we get to this area. So when price starts approaching this area, there's going to be a lot of profit taking. People are obviously in profits from this breakout. Anyone with eyeballs could see that this was a breakout. People took the confirmation here on the 9 and 26 up ring. So there's a lot of profit taking going on now. People who watch this are now waiting and trying to decide where they want to get in for long. People are still deciding if this, I mean, technically, on the larger scale, this is a valid downtrend still. So we have had a lot of upwards movement here. And if you look at a isolated amount of data, you'll see that from March 14th, there's a 50% move. It's moved 50%. You got half your money back on your investment just from that time alone. But collectively, there is a downtrend occurring. This is a downtrend, and it's a retest of a downtrend. So there's not enough information here to support the theory that a long-term uptrend is imminent. All of this data that we have here supports downtrend. So if you're getting in long, you definitely have a lot. Let me just show you what getting in long right now would look like. 32% down to the nearest resistance and making it 1-to-1. You wouldn't even be able to test. Honestly, you probably wouldn't even be able to test that. If price moved forward right here like this, you wouldn't be. Okay, you might be able to test it there. And then probably see something. I'm not saying it could work out exactly like this, but this is a possible projection. You have to set up as many projections as possible. This is a possible projection on what you're looking at here. That's a 1-to-1 at 32%. It's pretty crazy. You can definitely reduce this stop loss to like right here above some of these other market structures. So, I mean, this resistance, 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 and then broke above. So we'll just call this support, resistance, roll, flip, and make sure that's a solid line. Okay. And let me change the color of this. Okay. Well, I don't want to confuse it with the 200 EMA, so for right now, I'll just make it white, whatever. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. People tried to short here, got wrecked, broke above. So that's normally how you would try to play it with a tight. If you wanted to short this, you'd have a stop loss somewhere above this range. I would say above here would make sense, but as you can see, that stop loss has been obliterated. So moving forward now, it looks like there could be some kind of retest here. Price may not make that move at first. It might continue to come down and test some of these levels and ultimately touch here before it goes up. So putting a stop loss before this level, if you wanted to jump in at market price, putting a stop loss before this level would be a pretty invalid stop loss. You'd be asking for trouble. I know that we want to minimize our risk, but that's actually the opposite of minimizing risk. And it looks good. There's 5% stop loss on there, but you're almost asking for this to be hit. Now, I'm not saying that price is going to shoot down immediately because I cannot predict the future. But from a rational sense of reasoning, I mean, price was just recently been there and has not retested this level yet. So since it broke over, and there's no retest yet. Now, it's definitely got some strong upwards momentum, but like I said, that upwards momentum is going to run into the overlaying downtrend. And even still, once we break over this, you're still not considered in an uptrend as you have to break all-time high. So this is technically the swing low. The swing low right here. Price is making series of lower lows and lower highs. Now it's created a higher high. We'll be making a higher low soon. This low is going to be higher than this one unless it drops back down. which will surely paint the picture that this is going to continue as a downtrend. But anyway, before I digress too much, and I'll check the comments in a second. I know they're stacking up there. Before I digress too much, this stop loss right here, like I was saying, is just asking for trouble. So this is unreasonable. We'll need to have it below this level to some degree. As you can see, here price spilled over by 9%. I'm not going to extend it 9% down, but I will measure these bodies and these wicks because I'm just testing. I lined it up based off of this point here. So that's about 1%, about 1.5%. $10 stop loss is too much. I would say that this trade's invalid, but that's about as valid as you're going to get at market price if you jumped into market price. So I would say, oops, didn't mean to delete that one. I meant to delete this. So I would say for Solana, if you wanted to get in for any chance of like a swing position, this is what you're looking at for like a long. But again, we need to work on this entry. I would say if we could even time it better, if we see in the next few days prices coming down here, we can move this down, and then look, we're changing our risk factor now. So we're minimizing our risk and maximizing our reward. But in no case do I really want you to target 40%. That's just completely, totally, I mean, we did see it just happen. But that's just completely and totally unreasonable for you to try and squeeze out or try to attain out of a market. I mean, it obviously happens all the time in crypto, but for you to try and put this much stress on yourself, like, you're better off not putting that much stress on yourself. That's pretty unreasonable. It looks like it makes sense on paper, but that's pretty unreasonable. So let me delete that now, and I'll check the comments, and then we're gonna zoom in a little bit, see if I can find a scalp position here. So let me see, where did I leave off at? Where am I at here? Oh, so they're not all stacking up. Nice. Oh, it was risky, but you're out with profit. Nice. So Ananya took that. Is that you, Kumar? Right? That's Kumar, right, bro? What's up, bro? You took it, man. Congrats. I didn't see how it was playing out. Oh, it looks like it's still going, too. That's still a profitable position. Wish I would have took that one. Oh, well. It was a close call. 100 agree with your decision. Thank you, sir. So it looks like everyone's just watching the Solana TA. So cool. Cool. We'll just go ahead and keep moving forward with it then. I thought that there were a bunch of comments stacking up. So I can see here, this is just a projection now. Price is forming this little wedge type pattern here. And this is the immediate price action that I'm going to be facing if I'm looking to scalp on this, which I am. So based off the daily candlesticks, I pretty much... Oh, let me paint this uptrend too, so we can see where it's broken down from. Oh, it's actually not even hit for a retest yet. So I'll probably clean this up on the 4H, but this looks like where we're playing. I actually like this setup here. Doesn't look too terrible. Alright, so... Okay, let me just clean this up a little bit. Don't really like to skip wicks. I like to use touch as many wicks as I can without passing over. Like this one touches over. I like to be as precise as possible. There are certainly traders who cut through the wicks and find success, and they use the bodies. There are traders of all types, all shapes and sizes. I'm not discounting anyone else's methods. I'm just saying how I like to do it. So for here, I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna go ahead and set up 2. Let me move that back a little bit. I'll base this one on these points. And that kind of works. That works for now. Yeah, I can see prices about to butt up against there. Keeping it really close. But I also have this value here that I don't want to neglect. So I can see that this is going to produce a slightly different angle to start with. But ultimately, it gives me a different layer. And that's why I like to try and be so precise with these values. Because so many different people will see so many different things. And I just want to make sure I catch all the angles. Right, because if I was just using this one here, I would disregard this, and if I was just using this one here, maybe I couldn't see this break. So now I just have 2 ways to call it, and this line is projected from these 2 values, and this line is projected from this low here bumping up against here. So makes sense. And now I'm just charting simple market structures here, so I can see price did this number where it just literally just, this is textbook here. So well, that one, this is a lower high, so this is questionable. This is a higher low, breaks up, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Well, I guess I skipped this one here, so let's move this back there. Comes up, higher high. This is a lower low, so that's scary, but then it comes up. Now we see it start to reverse, so now we're seeing, right, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. If this pattern continues, what we're going to see is a lower low. If this pattern continues. If there's no support found here. But I don't necessarily say I'm seeing divergence here, although there's a lot of room for upwards movement. It can definitely bounce around inside this range. I'll like to say that I'll wait to see how this is played. So if this can't be respected, then I can short down to here, and then I can short down to here. Those two easy short side targets. I'll be more than happy to take that short if this doesn't get held. But placing, let me just walk you through what I'm seeing in my head right now. So if I take this short right now based on market price, my risk to reward is extremely upset. Based upon the fact that price could come here, and I could set my stop loss to right here. And that would make sense based off this swing high. But I have this downtrend line here that price could range back into. So that's why I don't want to take this position right now. I definitely want to get something done for the stream, but if I jump in this right now, like I said, I'm asking for trouble. There's too much room. There's too much wiggle room right here. But of course I can jump down into a smaller time frame and see if I can execute a scalp. So let me get through the other altcoins really quickly. Not really quickly, I'm not going to rush them, but let me get through the other altcoins and then I'll see which one perhaps has the best scalp setup for me to try and make something happen with. Let me delete these two, by the way, because these are going to bug me. Okay. Yeah, if I wanted to take a short, I would rather wait either for, I can set this up right over here, because then I'll be playing this outbreak, and that would be better for me. Or I want to wait for it to get right here, because then I'll be playing a retest, and that would be better for me. Because then if price breaks out of the zone and re-enters, I can greatly reduce this, because I know that if price breaks out below here and then re-enters, it was a fake out. So that would make more sense for me, either putting it right here or right here. But anyway, I'll leave these alone. And what was the other altcoin we had? Ethereum and AVAX. Okay, great. I have a lot of stuff on Ethereum and some stuff on AVAX. So cool, we can take a look at those. And let me see, Ronald Menhinga left a new comment. What's up, guy? How are you? And I'm new to the channel, but can you help me? 3 commas. Would you recommend I try that? Yeah, 3 commas is dope. That's if I do get a trade executed today, I will be using 3 commas to execute the trade, but I'll be using Bybit as the exchange. So 3 commas actually doesn't handle money. A little bit of a sidebar. 3 commas actually doesn't handle any money. They're just an API service. So you can use them to connect with multiple exchanges. I think like over 20 exchanges, and start to automate your trading. So yeah, super dope, super awesome service. My thumb, I don't know, my thumb's in the frame now. It is. Yeah, so super awesome service. You should totally check it out. I would never try to shill anyone anything, but I use 3 commas every day, and I've used it for years. When my pro subscription runs out, I'm going to renew it. No question. So moving forward now, we'll take a look at Ethereum, as that was next suggested. So Ethereum, I'll just be using Binance. I'm certainly not going to take a position on Ethereum. I'll be more interested in taking a position on Solana, or what was the other one that was on there? Yeah, AVAX. Cool. So yeah, definitely going to take a look at that. And I'd be more interested in trading Solana or AVAX simply because I feel like the volatility would be a little bit better for the video, for the live stream. I want to try and make some scalp. For the past live streams, if you didn't watch them, was able to make, I think almost all of them so far we've taken scalps. So I want to keep that rhythm going and show you guys what it's like to, trade and deal with shit on the fly and live. So now I'm just going to adjust this up a little bit. As you can see, it was stopped right there. So usually, I must have stopped looking at Ethereum around this point. So you can see I had to adjust these forward. So now just moving from this point and this point here, I can see it's pretty much broken out. I think I adjusted it to that one because I didn't want to be too picky and was playing this wedge, but it broke actually up on the wedge, so that's surprising. Usually this type of structure would fall down. But, I mean, of course now we know it's not sustainable. I think this is either a fib level. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, this is a fib level, 2.618. Nice. And I can talk about this really quickly too. So, yeah, you want to learn how to use fibs. You want to learn how to analyze daily time frames. So let me just talk a little bit about this. I've been trading for quite some time. I've done a lot of back studies, and I was watching price action unfold before this happened. So this is a Fibonacci, and this is a retrace. So you would just pull down from here, and gives you the layers that you're looking to shoot from. So why pull down from here, right? That's because it's previous all-time high. It's a previous all-time high, and the way you use fibs is basically, like I said, I'm not going to go into. I actually don't have a fib video. Need to get to that. But basically, the way you use fibs is you measure from high to low, and you're checking for retracements. So here we measure through, and this you would have levels. Now, if I extend this back over here, you would have these levels to trade forward, even based off this swing low. But I actually use the swing low from COVID crash to layer it out. So as soon as I get this new low information data presented from the COVID crash, I have projections. So if I drew this out from right here, I could see trading long range on the way up, where I could potentially run into support and resistance. And here, I mean, just really quickly looking at it, let me lock it in so it doesn't move. Really quickly looking at it, you can see when it broke that uptrend, all hell broke loose. But it just breaks through the fib layers, and then at some points you'll see resistance and support in through. And then as it breaks up now, this was unexplored new price territory, right? So here's where I would start to rely more on the fibs, and it just crashed through all of these, ultimately found up there. Which, if you check my Twitter too, I did have a year-end projection for the bull run at about 5.7K, fell short. But I posted that somewhere on Twitter, and that's where I got that value from, was from the Fibonacci projection. Just really quickly for reference, I'll jump over to my BTC chart that has it. And the same thing, I presented these values from previous all-time high, COVID crash swing low. I didn't go all the way back here. This was the COVID crash, and I had my projections on the upside. So we're playing that fib right now, going back to where we were before. I digressed 100,000 times. That is a pretty important price level that we're seeing rejection from right now. So based off of this type of Fibonacci movement, on the downside for a pullback, we're looking 2.0618, but on the upside, we're looking at 1.618. So that purple line is right here. So I wouldn't rule out any price movement. As you can see, we've already touched it several times. I wouldn't rule out any price movement to this until we can get above here and sustain price action above that level. Now we can also see notably there was a peak. So it's not like this has been used a lot. If I extend it over here, it's not perfect. We can consider this more of like a zone right here up into this range. But this was a previous peak that didn't get broke over, and then it suddenly did. So now we're testing this range as well. Looking to either capitalize off this movement. This would put a cap on downward support. So if price comes down here and breaks this level right here, because this is the last layer of support we have on the daily time frame. The 200 and 100 is not below that level. So if this does not hold here, then we can expect downtrend continuation of some of these lights right here to some degree. Maybe not this steep. And if support's not held here, it's probably going to continue to the downside to this target, or maybe even back down to here. So that is what we should be wary for. I would say right here would be a nice area to catch or look for another price conflict. So if price gets rejected here, it's going to shoot down, and then we can look for support or some type of confliction right here. And then if price breaks over here, we can look for conflict here, which then will probably short down. Or if it breaks over this and can break and confirm here, then target back to here. And this will probably be tested once more, as it hasn't been tested a lot since this break. So it could test here. And those are some short-term outlooks for Ethereum. That could range into early May. I don't know. That's like 2 weeks from now. So this is kind of the range we'll be looking to play based on immediate price action to us. And again, I don't really think I'm interested. I'll break down to 15-minute real quick. Don't think I'm interested in trading Ethereum today. It can be volatile sometimes, but yeah, this is not pretty consolidated. Probably just gonna drop off the face of the earth. I think it's consolidating for a retrace. I've been looking at charts all day. My head's starting to feel like a spaghetti strainer. This was, I placed this off the 4H time frame here, so this needs adjustment, but this one was solid off of 2 lines, so that would definitely give us an upwards range. This line right here, that was based off of 4-hour placement, and if I were to readjust this, I probably wouldn't play this anywhere, actually. This doesn't look too good that I broke down. I would say that could have been played, but it's already broken over now. So here's what you're looking at. This is invalid. Let me delete that. That would be invalid. Here's what you're playing on the downside. If you can get rejected here, there would be a short downside target. But yeah, let me see what that is. That might work. I don't want to play that right against a bullish cross. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Ugh. That would be a pretty solid trade, but I'm not too confident in that movement. The way the market's set up right there, it's a pretty nice structure, but I'm not too confident in that movement. And I think maybe better would be like right here. I'll leave that too, and I'll set this to the side now. We'll go look at, what was the other one? AVAX. Let me go look at AVAX. Let me check out the comments real quick, see if I missed anything. Okay, cool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Us guys at Crypto Uni. What's good, bro? Yes, I'm partnering with Crypto Uni. They sponsored my trading account for this series. This is part of Crypto University Series 2. I'm going to be cutting this up for them as well. So all the trades that we're taking is not with a paper trading account. It's with a live balance sponsored by, let me get a little bit back. I think my camera, got a green screen back here, so my camera was starting to cut me out if I get too close. But I have 27-inch monitor, but I be zoning in on, I get so close to look at these charts sometime. That's funny. So yes, shout out Crypto University. Thanks for the account. We got a lot of good stuff coming. We're going to be running bot functions on this too. Show you guys. I'm going to be working on a really nice study. We're going to bring you guys awesome results. And I'm working on that. We'll announce that too later on. So yes, sir. Thank you very much for shouting us out. Even though this looks like double bottom, but it's more bear flagging and rejection. Yes, let me see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks like double bottom, but on the larger picture, you know, just looking back at it really quickly. But we'll touch back into Ethereum in a little bit. I might take a trade there. We'll look to see what the best of the best is. Haven't looked at AVAX yet, so let me pull up AVAX now. Let me get another tab over here for us. All right. You guys like my background? Alright, let's see. AVAX. Oh, I think I got AVAX like right over here. What? Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, what? There's nothing on here? Okay, let's take a look at it. Okay, just haven't charted it in a while. Okay, well, nice. Very clean. If I'm going to chart it, though, I need to do it on Bybit because that's where I'm trading now. I'm no longer trading on Binance. I used to trade on Binance, but they restricted APIs for non-verified users, and I'm in a restricted country, so can't do it. Most notably here, I want to say this looks like it could set up for some type of Head and Shoulders. It's not as deep as I would like it to be. It could be that broad-shouldered girl your mama didn't want you to date in high school. You know, you remember the one with the broad shoulders, right? Yeah, it could set up for Head and Shoulders there. Not too positive on that, but I mean, just off the top of my head, that's something that I could see very quickly. And it's not perfect, but you know, maybe we could see upward movement to 95.68, and then some type of retrace or retest back down here, and then potentially shoot down to retest outside of here. Could just fall straight down from here. I don't know. This could be the shoulder, little baby shoulder. I'm not sure. That's just something I'm most notably looking at. So AVAX breakout looks like we have. This low doesn't really set up for to make me believe that this breakout's going to continue. This low right here, it could still range down to the 200 EMA. I'm not really too concerned about that. But this low right here is already the same point as this low right here. So if I wanted to be really, really strongly believe that this was going to continue upwards, I would have liked to not see this big red candle right here. I would have liked to have seen some support that constitutes this as an uptrend. But technically, this still is a higher low than this. So we'll have to wait and see. Now we're in an area of conflict, because if we're connecting these candlesticks here, just for example, then we could see like, oh yeah, this is uptrend. Let's play. Right? We have upward range, and this is uptrend. Even if I continue this one right here. Oh yeah, look, we have uptrend range. Let's play. Okay. So if I'm connecting now to this data point forward, I can't move. I can't make an uptrend. I can't. Just can't. It's because price is moving down. Price is moving down. So that's just how I'll section it up and chop it and play it. And same way if I connect these lower values here. Here's the immediate support we're playing, which is already an EMA. And I can pretty much see this with my eyes. So then I get too close to the camera again. Probably can see right through me. I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost. Why did I think you could see through my head? Okay, so if you wanted to play this on the short side, you're set up at a really good position to enter now. If price breaks over this downtrend, then you could very easily believe that price is going to continue on the upside direction. So you could set a really tight stop loss here just based off this market structure. It'd be super duper solid. And on the on the flip side, if you didn't want to take a short and you wanted to take a long, oh, it gave me a short again. I forgot to pick long. If you want to take a long from right here, now you're trying to trade this outbreak, and that's not a bad idea. Setting a stop loss below the recent swing low is not always a terrible idea, but in this scenario, I would argue that this is not a good idea, because the 200 EMA is right here. This could very easily be hit. And because this is a valid downtrend, I mean, I don't know why you try to take a long right here. It would pay out the best if it broke over, but this is valid. This is pretty valid. We have 2 points right here. This third wick has already been played off of it. We have 4 hours till that closes. And in the next 4 hours, if it shoots over miraculously, that's what this stop loss would have been for. If I put that back there. Yeah, if it shoots over miraculously, that position would be way more logical than having this position. This position just isn't as logical, but whatever, you know, it still could work out for you. I think I might be able to get in some kind of short on here, so let me see if I can. I'm going to take a look at Bybit. I don't know why I went so far on Binance. Probably because I haven't looked at Bybit in a while. See, I didn't even add it here, so let's back this up. I'm going to take a look at that again real quick on a smaller time frame. That's obviously not where we entered, or where we would be entering, so that would even be better. Yeah. Shoot, this might be the one, fellas. might be the one I take. I think this, I'd probably have to argue with somebody about this, but this could be divergence. That first point right there, not so much. But from this data point, well, shit, no, it's slightly below. Slightly below. To this is definitely divergence. So then let me just roll this back a little bit. Let me just get a little bit more clear in my observances. Because that's not. If I go from these 2 points, that's not. I'm looking on the downside, I don't see any either. Everything lines up. From here to here is also not divergent. So maybe I need to chill out. Maybe I need to chill out there. I would say if I extended it out, that, like I said, I would probably argue with someone that this is divergence. But it doesn't, it's not as plausible as if, you know, they're connected right next to each other. Even here. Alright, so I'm not going to take into consideration. I'm not going to use that as reason to enter or not. Let me extend this out. Cool. So that would be pretty solid. Well, I'm a little bit concerned about the placement of that stop loss now because it seems like there could be a resistance touch right there after the outbreak. I really feel like I should just enter that now if I'm going to take the short, but I don't know. Let me get some water. Let me think about it over a sip of water and read you guys' comments. We still have ICP to look at. Patrick. Even though this looked like double bottom... Oh, I already read that one. Edward, I recently learned about VSA. I think it's really cool to validate price buy it. Do you think it's worth to study it more deeply? I'm not sure I know what the VSA is. I can try to type it in really quick. VSA volume, VSA trade, VSA indicator. Yeah, I'm not really sure I know what this is, brother. So I can't tell you if it's worth to study it more deeply or not. I mean, if you even have distinct rationality in your mind that it's worth studying, you know, don't be afraid to study it. Just because it's not something that someone else doesn't talk about or someone else doesn't know, you can make that determination for yourself. But I don't believe I know what this is, sir. So I can't recommend if it's worth the time or not. Unless there's something else that I'm not exactly familiar with. But I'll wait to see if you can type another comment about that. Until then, I'm gonna go ahead and do ICP now. So let me see. Yeah, ICP. So let's go ahead and take a look at ICP again. I'll park AVAX. Just looking at that Ethereum. Looks like we're seeing. Actually, hold on. I think I missed something here. Yeah, def missed something. Let me just chart this. I didn't even give any downside. I was kind of just seeing this with my eyes and not really charting it. That's why I put my take profit target there. But let me just go ahead and chart it for you guys so that you can see it too. Hopefully you could hear that. Sometimes I just feel like I'm thinking out loud, and so I start thinking a little bit quieter and then forget I'm actually talking to a bunch of people. So sorry about that. If I start whispering, it's not on purpose. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that looks nice. So, sheesh. Okay, I'll park that now and then we'll come back to it in a little bit. Just a little bit. Let me see. Is ICP even on Bybit? I don't even know if I can trade this one. CP USDT. Oh, not ISDT. Is it on Bybit? Cool, it is on Bybit. I bet you there's more price action on Binance. I'll pull them up both. Let me get rid of that there. No, I don't want to mess up my third window like that. Okay, so yeah, there's nothing here on. I don't have anything here on Bybit, and Whew. Okay, so there's not much price action history available here on Bybit. That's okay. At least Bybit's, coming up. They're starting to list more pairs. So I'll just use Binance to track it. I think Binance probably has the most price action history. Yeah. Oof. Okay, cool. So don't know who is don't know who's asking about exchange listings earlier, but I think this is one of those examples. I mean, shoot, it's got a lot of upside potential now based off the floor it's given us. But this is just one of those classic examples of what happens after an exchange listing. So what I'm assuming, I don't know much about the history of this token prior to its exchange listing, but what I'm assuming happened here is that a lot of people had bought in before it got listed on Binance, and then as soon as it got listed on Binance, there's this huge pump. Everyone made a shitload of money, and then they're like, haha, and they start selling. And there's a huge dump. And then people got scared, and they're like, oh no, I'm holding on to something that has no value. And everyone just started dumping. And then, for whatever reason, this floor is established here. It looks like it's actually broken below that floor from that point. So now we can put a new, I'll just go ahead and put a new point right up here, or right down here, rather. So that's new all-time low. Pretty close to all-time low here. Let me see what that would look like. 15%. That's actually not too bad. I mean, if it drops to the face of the earth, I mean, obviously it can go much lower than $15. But as far as, previously explored price action history goes, I think that's its lowest price point. At least based on this chart from what I can observe. So, any asset could fall to zero or could rug pull. But even if this thing saw a retracement to $10, that'd be 40% loss. So here in this type of asset, I mean, there's certainly day trading opportunities available here. Absolutely. I mean, I would assume there's day trading opportunities available in most any asset that has liquidity. I don't know what the liquidity is like here. Seems present. Seems like there's volume. It doesn't look as dopey as some other illiquid charts I've seen. So yeah, you could definitely scalp this, day trade this. For me, this is a token that I would probably look at and be like, oh man, look how close it is. It's pretty close to the floor. I could probably throw in a couple bucks right here and wait for a long time and let it ride up. So probably maybe not like an active management type trade here, but this is more so like an investment. This is like, let me see what ICP's up to. What's the token really doing? I think it's Internet Computer Protocol, some decentralized web stuff. Don't really know too much about it. But at this point, based on this chart, I could look into the project and be like, is this really a good project? Like, what problem does it solve? Does it solve it for me? How can it solve the problem for other people? Who's working with the project? Bunch of different questions like that to determine if it would be a good long-term investment. But this seems reasonably, like I said, I don't know anything about this really. I just know that it stands for Internet Computer Protocol and they're making some sort of decentralized web. Isn't everybody, right? Everybody's making some sort of decentralized internet these days. But yeah, for me personally, if I were to find interest in this asset, that would be the purpose why. Because you could get in here and let's just find out. I mean, of course, if it goes to zero, you lose your money. But even if you threw in $100 right here, well, no, it's not as large as I thought it would be. Like I said, these movements pretty much die out once they get listed on exchange. If it ever even did come back up to this point on the floor here, it would be about 4.5x, 460%. So a little over 4x your money, almost 5x. Off $100 stake's not going to do too much. So maybe I probably wouldn't even mess with this coin. If you put in $1,000, that'd probably be worth some time, but then you'd be risking losing the capital of $1,000. If you 4x $1,000 off this, even if it took, how long did this take? A year? Yeah, so even if it took a year to 4x, I mean, if you go put that in a money mutual savings account, you can bet your BIPA you're going to get like 6 to 12% on the year. So if you get 400% in a year, even on $1,000, I'd be happy with that. But putting $1,000 up on this asset, lots of downside potential. So you could lose close to $400, $500 easily, like overnight. So If you want to get into ICP, that's on you. I did my TA. You can see this right here. Let me do a little bit of more, just a little bit more on this outbreak here, or this downtrend, because I don't even think this is an outbreak really. It's really almost just dead, I would say. It tried to break out there and then started to fall into a floor. I'm trying to be precise here. So I'll have to project another one as well. That's really, really far side target. It's not exactly touching. There we go. So that's really far side upward target. So if it broke even from here to here, 72%. I don't think I could find it in my heart to throw down $1,000 on this for 72%. I mean, shoot, even if it happened in, the next few months, because obviously this is the time frame we're looking at that now, up till June, about June 7th. And this could extend longer if I drew it out longer. Of course, we have our downtrend projection, but I mean, even at best case scenario, 72% in a few months, that would be really, really great. That would be super awesome to get. You wouldn't find that anywhere in traditional investing, but the risk, I feel like, is just too great. I couldn't stomach that. I could not stomach that. I mean, this is the most recent low that we've explored and the lowest point in previous price action history, like to ever. So it's pretty close to the floor. Not a completely terrible opportunity, but I just don't think I could stomach that, man. I wouldn't want to do it. I just feel like I'd be throwing away money on this almost. It could play out for you. I don't know. It could play out, but I just feel like that's not a gamble I want to take. So it doesn't look good enough to me. But if you take it, rub it in my face later. If you take it and it works out, rub it in my face later. And remember where you got your TA from. So, yeah, let me see what we can trade now. Let me see you guys' comments. Are there any other comments here? So, volume spread analysis. Volume spread analysis. Hold shift while drawing trend line and want it at the same coordinates horizontally. Oh, nice. Ha! Sick. Oh, look, it'll snap to an angle. Cool. Sick. Awesome. Man, boy, send me your LTC Addy. I'm going to give you a tip for that one. Post your LTC address in the comments. Nice tip right there. See? We learn something every day, guys. I don't know everything. That's super dope, too. I would always spend a lot of time clicking in here and make sure the coordinates are the same. Badass. You probably helped a bunch of people, dude. I'm long. Swing trade. Lucas, you're long? You're long on ICP? Good luck, bro. Good luck, man. Good luck. Oh yeah, boy Tamil, that's for long term. For short term, here's your first short term resistance target. This is a long term target here. So even if you're targeting short term, that's 1-to-1. I would not take that. I wouldn't take 1-to-1 at 20%. No way. If it was like 1% or 2%, 1-to-1, yeah. If it were like this, 2%, 3%, I could live with that. But no, sir, I could not live with. I would be straight up glued to this screen if I took this. Even if it was with just $1,000. I mean, I don't want to just throw away any amount of money. Of course not. Plus, I'm taking that. If I were to put $1,000 on this, I'm taking it away from somewhere else I could be using it. I could put that $1,000 into a trade, into 50 trades, maybe. Who knows? Could have done way much more work. So I don't know. But as far as ICP goes, I'm not going to be looking to take a trade on this today. Yeah, so let me take a look at my other candidates. It's really just because I don't know too much about this. I always try to say that you should trade what you feel comfortable trading and like what you know how to trade. So, or what you know very well, like what you've already mapped out pretty well. This just is not up my alley. It doesn't fit that criteria for me. So let me just, I'm going to get out of this right here. Oh no. Okay, let me just get out of that. And we'll see what we got going on here with AVAX. I'll run back through AVAX. And let me see. Okay, cool. So, nice. If this plays up, What time is it now? 2:40. Cool. So we've only been here for like an hour, I think. Been here for like an hour, 10 minutes. Cool. Awesome. So we're going to be running for like another 50 minutes now. I'm going to try and get that scalp. Let me look back and see what BTC did. Here, let me put this back over here. We'll go back and see BTC. I'll bring this whole thing over here now. So let's take a look at what BTC did. Okay, so she dumped. If we would have had an adjusted stop loss, which what we should have done, we could have gotten out of there with profits. So that's neat. Damn. Okay, man, we should have took that entry too. That would have been like where it was too. That would have been like super solid entry. But oh well. I think Ananya said he took it, so good for him. He got some money off of that. Taking a look back at Ethereum now. I don't know if I can really expect that. Alright, so I might be a little bit more quiet. I'm gonna do a little bit of thinking. I'll narrate as I think whenever I can process valid thoughts. But I'm just trying to make sense now of what's happening. And then I'm gonna break down into a smaller time frame. And my ETH short looks like it's about passed up. Yeah, that's a solid range to the downside. It's floating in the middle of a wedge now. I can't do anything. If it reaches the bottom of this wedge, I could play it for a long. Let me move. I don't want to move that. Let me check my object tree real quick. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and hide that for now. So if price comes up into this region, I'll try and take it somewhere along here. I could take that short. And if price comes into here, now a fool would try and, why did it keep giving, it's because I haven't pressed it. Sorry, fellas. A fool would try to say I can long from here and put a stop loss right here. But that, like I said, that's asking for a stop loss to be hit. It's very likely that price will go back to that range. It's very possible. So we want to place our entry if we want to take this long right here, we're going to try and take it along this range and place. Now our stop loss that would not constitute a scalp at that point. The long carries more risk. See, if I have this short here, then I could fix my short stop loss to be over this point. Which then, if we broke over this point, it's probably going to send us back upwards, because then we have this one and up higher. But down here, we have this one too. I'd have to extend below this to make this make sense. So then now that would have to be, that's doable. That's doable, but not something I want to try to play. If this move comes down here, then this pretty much going to constitute valid downtrend, because we're going to see that rejection from here in the 200. So then I'll have to take a counter trend trade here, but it's very likely that price could explore and create a new low. So I don't think I feel comfortable trying to set up a long based off of this. It can be done, can be taken, but I don't think I'd feel comfortable doing that. So let me try and see now. I'm actually going to break this. Oh, yeah, I actually have this. So let me just close out of here. Oh, golly gee wilkers. Save that. I'll close that. Bring this over here now. Okay. So this is our BTC. This is BTC 1 minute. This is that trade we're trying to take. Go ahead and take it off now, because we're not in that trade. We need to try and get something done. So here I got 1, 3, and 5 minutes. So this is how I'm going to set up my scalping for all of these now. 1 minute, 3 minutes, go to that Bybit. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna have to redraw everything on this Ethereum chart. Son of a gun. It shouldn't be too hard to do. Okay, now let me go back over to AVAX and get this bad boy broken up. Is this also on Binance? Oh shoot. Shooting myself in the foot here. Into Bybit. Gonna have to go into Bybit. Alright, I'm just gonna have to redraw these really quickly to see where we are in current market structure. Because if you're trading, the reason I'm doing this is because if you are trading futures, pennies matter, penny movements matter. So we don't want to be looking at a Binance chart and making trades on a Bybit exchange. That's what I would be doing if I was doing that, and that's not the right way to do it. So I need to make sure that everything is correct, ready to go, because whenever I get ready to scale, shit's gonna happen really quickly. Super duper quickly. Alright. Alright. Clean. Nice clean start to chart to start with. So now I'm gonna speed run this real quick. I'm not really gonna say too much while I'm doing it. Just gonna do it. Layering it up for trading. Got a comment here. Rico Duded, hello, thanks for this. How many time frames do you use in your multi-time frame analysis during scalps? Usually use 3. Whenever I'm right there, I'll break it up into those 3 layers like I just had. I'm not really ready to execute right now. I'm trying to relayer it, but I'll use 3 at least. Looking at BTC 42422, do you think it's well to go 41k? 41k? No, that's a long ways down. Oh yeah, it's at the bottom of this range. It's possible. Let me finish breaking up AVAX and I will get back to that. It's very possible it could, man, honestly. I don't like the momentum it's showing, but I'm not trying to instill panic or fear in anyone, but that's the bottom of the next support level we have for BTC. Okay, so basically my legend here is valid, invalid, and whenever I get into smaller time frames, this means worthless because, or not worthless, but I wouldn't pay attention to this on a larger time frame. This is indicative of me using it for scalp scratch. So I'll put this on the minute. Whenever we get into the minute time frame, I'll start to break things up really crazy. I might make it look overcomplicated, but in my head when I'm processing it, definitely makes sense. So that looks alright. Let me come back here a little bit now to the hourly. So I want to chop up and see what kind of support and resistance layers I can have horizontally from where I can fit in my frame. I'll start here. I'm going to use my newfound technique. Man, that's solid, bro. Love that. That's going to be such a time saver. You don't really realize it, but something as simple as that, like coming to click in here, change these to make it straight every time. over the long term, that would accumulate to a lot of time. Thank you for sharing that useful information with me today. Really quickly, I'm just going to put on some fibs. Regular. Alright, let me see what that looks like. Well, not layered enough. Alright, I'm just breaking into some 5 minutes now. I'll just use that. Alright, I'll play here. And here. Play that there. Alright. So, I mean, if I wanted to force this, like every single layer I could. And that might look, like I said, a little stupid, but it does give me ranges. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, 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 cool. Cool, cool. Ooh, 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 ooh. So we're spilling out right here. So now I'm pretty much closing in on current market price. I don't really like any of those. I'll make it a zone. Alright, let's see how that goes. Okay, so break this up again. Alright, cool. Alright. Now got my, see where we are. Cool, so yeah, this is how I would try to scalp Mr. Sir who asked the question. Rico Duded. Yes, I would like to use 3 time frames at least. In my experience, so for scalping under 5 minutes or using the higher time frames for max profits. In my opinion, if you're going over, if you're staying in a position for like over, scalpers are really can be in within seconds. They can get in within seconds and minutes. So I think if you start pushing over the boundaries of like 15 minutes, then you're not really looking for scalps. Those are more of like day trades. Day trades can take several minutes to several hours. And then swing trades take days to weeks or months. So swing trades can be a really big category. Scalping, I would say, is like 15-minute positions or less. Usually, you can turn a scalp. You can ride a scalp for longer than that, but be careful because you're starting to break the guidelines of what a scalp is. Divergence on 1 minute. Divergence on 3 minute? No. divergence on 1 minute right here. Let me see how plausible I can make this. This might just do it for me. 1%. Tolerate that. Let me see here if I come up. Looks good. I'm worried on I'm worried on a different time frame that it could poke back below, but I'm not gonna miss another opportunity like I did last time. So I'm gonna get ready to pull the trigger here. I could pull the trigger in a second, but let me just think. Gotta run around and think at the same time. Oh, fuck. Oh. I'm going to my exchange. I'm not going to waste any more time waiting. Alright. Well, I guess let's see how that goes. Probably gonna get my ass ate faked out here. Perhaps I didn't look at enough information. Where's BTC? I'm gonna put BTC up on my other screen because I would like to use it as a reference too. But usually a lot of coins move with Bitcoin, so I want to just keep an eye on this bad boy too and see what it's doing here. If BTC gets ready for another price spill, then Ethereum and AVAX are probably going to be close behind it. So I wouldn't rule out any further downside movement. Pretty much have a downtrend on all time frames. So that would be like the end. This could be the end of the corrective uptrend pullback for the downtrend continuation. Yeah. See. So here's downtrend spill out. Looks like it's pulling back some, and that could be this right here. One of these may continue the downtrend momentum back to another fib there. Where is the? Let me see. Where is the golden fib here? Okay, so we're already below that point. I'll see how this goes. Let me see what's up with some comments. Thanks. Let me see here. Oh, did I miss that one? Please, how do you utilize that hourglass you got in scalping? I'm glad you asked. It's right here. So the position's live now. Oh, that was my coin. I also have a coin for making decisions. So the hourglass turns. And if it runs out of sand, it's 15 minutes. I could just set a 15-minute timer. I could just move this here. So based off my entry, right? Go 15 minutes, and then I could close this to that value, so that's 512, so it'd be the same thing. I just think the hourglass is more cool. I got this coin too, so if I can't make a decision, I just flip the coin. If I get heads, well, obviously I assign, do I take the trade or not, right? Like, do I take the trade? Heads I take the trade, tails I don't. It's tails. All right. I couldn't make the decision for myself, so the coin did it. Tails, I don't take the trade. Something like that. But yeah, it's what is this, $1? I think this is $1. Yeah, $1. It's $1 coin. I got this cool, neat Bitcoin here on my desk. My girlfriend got this for me for Christmas, but I am not gonna take this out and flip it. I'm not gonna scratch this thing up. This thing's great. I told my I told my girlfriend all I wanted for Christmas was Bitcoin. I said, babe, don't give me anything except Bitcoin. She tried her hardest. Look at this. Isn't that so cute? I keep it on my desk now. Yeah, I'm not gonna flip that bad boy. But yeah, I got the hourglass to monitor my trades. If it starts to run out of sand and I'm not out of the position, I should look for an escape. Here, I should actually probably just go ahead and put a stop loss in a profitable position, but we'll ride it out. So smart management would say that I need to adjust my stop loss right now because it's in profits and there's no reason for me to absolutely take a loss on this. No reason at all. So I should watch this now, and if price comes back to my entry, I should look to close the position by adjusting the stop loss. So we were thankful to get in on that. But of course, I still want to try and ride it up. If I do get stopped out for a little bit of profit, I'm okay with it. I'd rather not get stopped out way the hell down here for a loss. So let me just... A reasonable place to put that wouldn't even give me too much profit. It's about to be hit at a point 86.640. Let me see what that would look like. 86.640. That's hardly above anything. It's hardly above entry. But that just means that we could recalculate. Man, that would still set up though too. Someone could still be taking that entry there. So these are thoughts that run through your head while you're trading. Where do I adjust my stop loss to? Is it far enough yet? Can I even walk away with anything? But yeah, I digressed a little from the time. That's how I use the hourglass. If it's running out of sand, then I got to do something with this trade. I got to make a fly. If it's in profits, maybe I'll just cut for profits. If it's in stop loss, if it hasn't hit the stop loss yet, but it's heading towards it, then definitely. If it's been 15 minutes, I'm just gonna cut my losses right there. But if it's in profits, I'll try and reason with myself why to stay in and how to chase it up. But after 15 minutes, I'm pretty much ready to go. On a scalp, ready to go. Because like I said, after 15 minutes, you're not in a scalp anymore. And the TA I did expired. I only did this TA for 15 minutes. Do you remember about a week ago... Oh, I missed that one. Do you remember about a week ago I asked that BTC to 50K and you said make to 42K? I do not recall. I don't recall that. But we are at 42K, so if I said that, then I think I did a good job. I don't actually recall that, sir. I usually try to write down. I just threw away last week what I had wrote down. I usually wrote that down on a piece of paper. I don't recall, sir. I'm so sorry I don't recall. But you can elaborate if you'd like to. Elaborate for me, please. How do you... Okay, I already read that one. Did you ever have fear of execution, and how did you overcome it? Bro, I still have fear of execution. I mean, fear is not something you can just get rid of. It's human nature. Okay, look. Right here, price is playing resistance. This is a short-term resistance point. If this gets broken, I'm going to feel confident riding up the long. Oh, let me use my new... Cool. So if this gets broken, I'm going to feel confident riding up the long. But if this does not get broken, and this candlestick comes below the 9 and 26 EMA, I'm done. I'm just going to go ahead and get out. Because I don't know if that will continue on the upside movement. I say I'm done, but I might change that thought process here in a second. We'll see. So yeah, I mean the fear of execution, bro. How do you get over it? I mean, you just have to go into the market and do it, bro. You just have to take trades. I tell everyone to document their trades. I've come up with like a little trader diary. If you don't have something like 3 commas, which is awesome, you can use that to document your trades. But if you don't have 3 commas, then you definitely need to document your trades still. And after you take like 100 of them, you'll be able to look at them and be like, okay, this is what I did wrong. This went wrong. This went right. And you want to try and maximize what went right and recreate what went right in what conditions when the market looked like what you did what to get that result. And then you look at the losers too and you're like, okay, I got all these losers. And this one, what did the market look like? What did I do? You see that happen a few times out of like 100 sample trade. You see maybe for whatever reason you might find you can try and delete that from your trading spreads. So if you document it, you just have to literally get out there and do it, bro. Get out there and do it. It's like you jump into the pool. You're scared to jump into the pool, right? Oh, it's cold. You dip your little foot in. Oh, it's cold. And you jump in. You're like, sploosh. And you're like, it's cold, it's cold. Do you get out? Do you get out? Because then you're going to have to get out and get back in again. It's going to be cold all over again. But if you just get in there and you sit it out, you're not going to be cold much more. Your body's going to get used to it. You're going to move around, and you're going to be swimming. Same thing for trading. You just got to get out there and do it, brother. Do it. Paper trading's cool. It takes a lot of. It takes real money to understand how to train your emotions. You can do a lot of paper trading to test technical analysis, but whenever it comes to actually training your emotions and your mental thoughts, you have to use money. Even if it's a small amount of money at first, that's totally fine. $50, $100, that's cool. It'll train you to use emotions because you don't want to lose that, right? You worked really hard for that. However you got that money, I'm pretty sure you had to work your butt off to get it. So you don't want to lose it. And introducing a small amount of money to paper trading makes it not paper trading. It makes it real trading, and it starts to give you that mentality so you can train your mindset. So here I'm already, no matter what happens, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to close out right here. I can go ahead and adjust my stop loss comfortably now to about 86,755. Let me just do that. 86,755. That's not going to be much profits at all, but it's better than taking a loss. So I've adjusted it now to be a 0.10% pre-leverage profit. So it might be like end up being 1.8% with leverage. So here's that position I've got right here as well. Let me just show it to you so you know I'm not being a douche and just acting like I'm trading, and I'm not really trading. So here we go. Here's our entry. Exactly the same thing. AVAX. So this is what I'm trading. Here we go. There she is. I took this trade, this scalp right here. So usually I like to trade with, I got 200 base margin. With leverage it's 3,000. I meant to put 3,500, but I just ran with 3,000 because we're on the live. Usually I'll do 3,500 base 15x. But I went 3,000, just reduce my risk a little bit because I'm on the live stream. And I don't know. I just didn't want to run with 3,500. I thought shaving $500 off would help. So I ran with 3,000. Where was I at now? I don't really remember what happened now with that train of thought. I know my apologies, fellas. I lost that train of thought prior to jumping in on the trade example. Can't recall exactly where I was in my thoughts. I'll read through the comments again. I'm sorry. Let me see. Ever fear of execution? Yeah, bro. I guess to overcome fear, you just have to get in there and do it, bro. Do I plan to invite hosts onto my streams in the far future? I'd like to do that in the near future. For example, I really respect CU teams like G-Man. Hell yeah, they're super kind when asking for help. Never let you down. Man, I'm glad they don't let you down, bro. Yeah, I'd love to get G-Man up here. I'd love to get Ethan up here. I'd love to get a bunch of guests up here. I want to do some TA talks like this because I love trading. I think I'm probably just going to jump out for profits right here. We'll see how that support check goes, but it looks like it could get ready to continue downside movement. That's a rejection right there off the 100. Potential rejection off the 100 EMA. So I might get ready. So now I'm squeezed into this range here between these EMAs, right? So can you see this right here? This is my upper range. This is my lower range. Now if price dips below back here, back below this point, I'm going to be convinced I need to just leave the trade. But yes, bro. Yes, I would love to get some other people on the stream. And I don't just want to do TA, like the singular shows by myself is cool. I'm really just finding my rhythm, bro. I think this is my 5th live stream. Thank you guys for being here. I'm really just finding my rhythm. I want to invite some other people up. We'll do all kinds of different talks, bro. I want to talk to you guys about NFTs. I really think that NFTs, I mean, there is some money to be made. And there's definitely a lot of utility in some NFTs. But most of the time, these people are just out here selling fucking images, dude. I really think that a lot of that is a sham. Like CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club, like there's not really, they claim there's utility, but I mean, I can talk about it for hours. I would love to talk about different crypto aspects, not just trading. I'm a crypto enthusiast. I've been in the space since 2017, got to become a full full-time day trader almost 2 years ago now, so a little over 18 months ago. I was able to quit my job, started social media influencing, met CU. I've been partnered with Crypto University for over a year now. Life's been super duper great since I was able to start full-time trading. I've been able to learn so much more, especially about crypto. I fucking love crypto. Changed my life completely. Trading changed my life. Crypto changed my life. Gave me a life I never would have had without it. So I just want to share with everybody what I found out. I just want to talk with people, invite some of you guys. We don't have to have eloquent guests up here. I can get some other guys up here too. It's like I can try to get anyone up here to talk about anything, and not just YouTube too. I want to explore on other platforms like Clubhouse is perfect for that. We can all talk to each other very quickly. It's like multi-way podcasting. So I like Clubhouse, and there's a lot of different ways we can communicate too. If you're not in the Discord, so yeah, I definitely want to grow. Definitely want to have more guests. Definitely want to talk about different subject. I'd love to have G-Man up here. Need to talk to him and Ethan real soon. See about getting those guys up here. So thanks for that inquiry. Yes, we do have guests. I have guests planned. Thanks. By how much does using an API help your trading? Would you suggest news traders to use it? Okay, so let me put it to you this way. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. If you get so far into trading, like I know I was really, really against, I've been using API for years, but I was really, really against like trying to learn new things, like even outside of trading. Like before I first understood the concept of NFTs, it was scary to me because I didn't really understand it. Like, right? What's an NFT? I don't get this. So if you learn one exchange, if you have one exchange, one trading account, really not that big a deal. You can be on Bybit, you can be on whatever exchange, and you can, okay, so I'm about to run out of sand in the hourglass. We're at resistance. We're at the end of the projection. So now I'm really okay with leaving at any point in time, and there's that rejection, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to do it so I can focus on talking to you. Closing my position now. If it shoots up to TP goal, I'm going to be upset, but whatever. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let me just try and write it a little bit further so I can show you how to manage it. So right now we're leaving scalp territory. In another 30 minutes or so, let me see what 15 minutes more would be. So there's my original projection. I'll leave this here, right here. Okay, so now this is another 15 minutes. We'll check to see what it does. Any moment now, if this pops below here, I'm just going to pull the trigger and get out. But we'll see if we can even get to this resistance point. But yeah. So if you have one exchange, where was I? Yeah. If you have one exchange, then I don't think you need API service. It can definitely help you with bots because they have bots too. But if you don't have a lot of capital, if you're new, if you only have one exchange, don't worry too much about API at first. The reason it's helpful is to automate once you have a strategy, you can very easily automate it with 3 commas, webhooks, and bots. You can set up smart trades, so where you're not even at the computer and everything's you can set up automated take profit targets. You can adjust everything all in one screen before the trade even goes live. It does make trading helpful, and you can use, even if you do have one exchange only, even if you don't have a lot of capital, all the things I just listed, it's entirely up to you. Not necessary, but extremely helpful. How's that going to affect your learning curve? You already have so much to learn. Just being a rookie trader trying to figure out how to navigate your exchange. Once you can understand your exchange, and once you have a strategy, then you're probably going to want to automate that strategy. And you're probably going to, if you have multiple exchanges too, that looks like she's going to dump. I'm out. No. If you have multiple strategies, you're going to want to maybe assign some to like bots and stuff to execute them for you. And 3 commas comes in really helpful for that. So, botting is really super duper awesome. You don't have to be paying attention all the time like this. This is just helping you to get more money from bots. Ultimately, the way I see it now, I'm just trying to grow my bots until I can make a whole bunch of money and not even have to worry about day trading unless it's for like additional boosts of income. I want to be able to supply myself with bot income. Of course, other sources of income too, but okay, yeah, that's definitely need to close. Okay, so here's the moment of truth right here. She's gonna dump down. Oh yeah, that's it. We out. Damn it. Oh, she's dumping. I knew it. Closed at market price. Well, we just lost some profits there. Probably, ultimately, even could ride this up too if I had the stomach for this, but I only planned for this. My sand is out. I should have closed right up here when I had that much profits. Hot dog it. But yeah, that's what happens, man. And where were my thoughts? What the hell was I talking about now? Oh yeah, 3 commas is awesome. I like 3 commas. I love 3 commas. Makes things really helpful. You don't need it, but you could definitely use it. And if you do use it, my link's in the comments. Or not in the comments, in the description. If you do want to use it, my link's in the description. But you don't have to. You can certainly make a very good living for yourself never having used 3 commas. So don't make it sound like I'm trying to sell you some shit you don't need. You can live without it. But I love living with it. Okay, so this position was a win. Let me see what time it is. Okay, so we got 15 minutes left for my planned live stream. So I'm not going to take another position. I would have liked to have fit more than one in here. But I don't want to have to think again. Honestly, probably should just let this ride up. It wouldn't even have hit my... Yeah, that would be my adjusted stop loss. It would have hit my adjusted stop loss right here. So I did save myself a little bit of profits. But... Yeah, so what's up, guys? We'll do any questions and answers for anyone who's here. I don't know. We got... Looks like... If I'm reading this right, looks like maybe I have 8 viewers. I'm not too sure. But any questions right now, we'll just go ahead and try and get you guys questions answered and hang out with y'all for the next couple minutes. Up until, well, it'll be my 3:30, 15:30. So, yeah, we'll hang out, guys, and see what kind of questions y'all got. And, yeah, let's go. Let me see. Thanks. For how long did you trade spot before going into futures? Bro, I still trade spot. I mean, just depending upon what kind of opportunities are there. Trading futures is fun, and like we just saw, you can make use of the market in a very short amount of time, especially if you have increased amount of capital. Leverage is a great tool to use for scalping, if you're very controlled with it and you know how to set up take profit, stop loss like that. But for spot trading, I still do that when there's for swing trading, projecting a large movement when price comes to a super great area of support or resistance. I definitely want to accumulate some or switch some of my portfolio around because most of my spot trading is done in BTC. So I'm not trading USDT on spot to make more USDT. I'm trading Bitcoin into other Bitcoin pairs. So I think my screen's still showing, right? Let me just, I'll make this one panel now. Oh, at the bottom here. Yeah, so here I have BTC pairs. So see, we're basing them with USDT at first. But now here I have BTC pairs. So if I look into this one, for example, I'm waiting on this for, See, I was waiting for this outbreak to come to life here on the weekly, and I could see that it's just, it's just riding along the bottom side of this. So, right here, getting ready to go Bitcoin, Litecoin long, like when this breaks out too, it's all squeezed up, it's all real tight. This is not perfect TA, but right here you can see. So I'm not actively trading this on spot. And I think actually if you're trading with smaller balances on spot, it can be harder because you actually have to get the market will actually have to provide what you need. Like on scalping with futures, the market can move 0.2%, 0.2%, and you can walk away with 2%, 20%, depending upon what kind of leverage you use. You can walk away with a lot. Based on really small movements. So when you're trading spot, you need larger movements, and you can't really be scalping so much unless you just have a super large bank. Unless you have a really large bank. If you have, I mean, even if you have a balance of, yeah, you have to have, you have to have a pretty large bank to be scalping spot, and getting away with it with all the exchange fees and everything. So probably don't target scalping on spot. Do so more on futures. For me, before I really entered futures heavily, I traded spot for years. I mean, I never once traded a future market until I got into crypto. I traded stocks and shit before I got to crypto, and then once I found out about crypto, obviously sold everything from stocks and have been 100% crypto till this day. I'm still 100% cryptocurrency invested. But I didn't trade futures for a long time. To how long? To be honest, I don't know. I really can't answer that. But I did not trade for years. I traded spot. So don't think that you can just wake up one day and start trading futures and it's going to be all willy nilly. You can definitely start exposing yourself to it, but it's going to take you a long time to be able to make use of futures safely and efficiently. All right. Let me see. Anything changed? Damn, you lost focus talking, buddy. I lost focus on my face, or what do you mean? Where did I lose focus? I don't know. I don't know exactly what you mean, Patrick. Do you trust trading robots? I mean, you set up the robot. I set up the robots on my 3 commas. You can choose someone else's configurations, but I set up my own bots and I trust them. I trust them to use my money. I set them up. I tell them what to. That's basically all the bot does. It's pre-programmed. You tell it what to do. You assign it how much money to use, and it's gonna go and do exactly what you tell it to do. You can't really get mad at it if it loses your money. I trust them because I set the bots up appropriately, and I can also manage my bots too. So for like pumpy scenarios, like right now, just for example, if I don't want to if I don't want to dump a whole bunch of BTCs into this on spot, if I think this is gonna break out soon, and I don't want to put, if I don't want to buy a bunch of Litecoin with Bitcoin, what I can do is set up a Bitcoin Litecoin bot. And if I think this is gonna break out, well, over the next few weeks while it breaks out, it's just going to be racking me small percentages at a time, half a percent, 0.75%. It's just going to keep racking that up, and it's going to try and DCA in any losing positions. And there's a lot of upside potential here, even on the short term for BTC, LTC. So that would be nice to see. What will it take to see that? I'm not sure. But in that event, like if I'm waiting for an outbreak to occur on any asset, I can set up a bot for it. And then after the outbreak occurs, like on AVAX, we saw it did an outbreak and now it's doing a retest. And I can just turn the bot off. And when the bot finishes its last deal, it's done. And we're walking away with all that money we scooped up. So bots are super duper dope. Love them. I trust them. Patrick, serious question there. I lost a win rate ratio by being more skilled in TA. I think I know too many things that causes confusion. Confusion causes anxiety, and anxiety make you lose. Dude, ultimately, you're absolutely right, bro. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just between you and yourself. The market's just there. It exists. Doesn't care what you think of it. Doesn't care what you're doing. Doesn't care what you want. Doesn't care how you feel. It's just there. So we, as humans, have to properly manage our own risk. And I would say to set up a set of risk to reward ratios that you're comfortable with. Like for me, I know I can use 0.5% to 1%, easy, 1 to 2. If I'm looking at a scalp, I'll see if that works first. If I could do 0.5% to 1 risk to reward ratio, that's easy, 1 to 2, and I'll look for that first. If it spills out of 0.5%, I'll look to see what 1% to 2% looks like. If that doesn't look good, I'll look to see what 1% to 1% looks like. If that's plausible, I might take it. So I have rules of rationing and reasoning interior for myself. And like I said, ultimately, if I can't make a decision, that's why I seriously have this coin right here. Seriously, I'm not just dicking around. That's why I have this coin here. If I can't make a decision, I'll just flip the coin and let it make the decision for me, bro. I had time. And you know what? Oftentimes when I'm flipping this damn coin, I think about too, like, when the coin's in the air, I know exactly what I want it to do. It becomes clear. But the coin hits my hand and I respect it. So it takes a coin toss to make up my fucking mind sometimes. And while the coin's in the air, like I said, I made up my mind, but it comes down and I have to respect it. Otherwise, I'm just going to be playing this game. Do I respect the coin toss or do I go with my first thought? I flipped the coin for a reason, so yeah. All those things can make you lose. And you even saw at the beginning of the stream too. I didn't have the ability to make the decision on that divergence. I saw the divergence. I pointed it out multiple times. I didn't have the ability to pull the trigger. That could have been a profitable trade for me too. Didn't reach the take profit goal. Could have adjusted it. But I mean, that's just another fine example. I was in my emotions, and I was more so like It's weird getting into a mindset and doing this for an audience. I knew it was going to be weird starting it. It's definitely different trading in front of other people for a live audience, even if it's like a handful of people. I don't know, this could grow to be an audience of 20,000 people one day. So it's definitely different. So I would say that, managing your emotions is extremely important. I feel like I know enough TA as well. I definitely know TA We all know TA. I mean, a lot of people know TA. The TA is there. You do it. You do the TA. It's there. And then comes the emotional. Okay, well, do I go long or do I go short? And if so, if I go long, how long do I go long? And if I go short, how short do I go short? Like if we're just looking at this right here, and we don't have any information out front, like we already know it's gonna spill down. But if we're looking at this, bro, you can set up a long right here that makes perfect sense, right? You could set up this long, it makes perfect sense. Let me just see if I can backtrack this. Okay, yep. So you could set up this long, makes perfect sense. You could set up this short. Makes perfect sense. The long actually looks better here. But still, both of these make sense. You know, setting up a short and a long right here, you can play both of these. Many people saw this TA right here and they're like, oh look at this. This is a wedge. This is a wedge. You can't really see it because of the EMAs here. Let me delete some of those. Remove them. Alright, so we have a wedge. So based off this structure, everyone who can do TA is like, look, wedge, downtrend, uptrend, price conflict. Okay, great. Now make a guess, make a gamble. Here's your gamble. This is how it becomes a gamble. Now you have to guess. Do you want to go short or do you want to go long? A lot of people went long. A lot of people went short. That's the way the cookie crumbles, man. It happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying here? Then we get to where we are now. Do a little bit of TA. Hallelujah. Oh, we got this downtrend here. Look, wedge. This breaks up. That broke down. Here's another low. Wedge. Where are we going? Right? Do you bet up or do you bet down? It's all emotional, bro. The TA's right here. The TA doesn't really tell you to go long or short. That's up to you. So I feel you 100% on that, brother. Patrick says, how to beat that? Simplify things and that's it. Have you been there? Well, I think I answered that question. I didn't even read that question, but I think I answered it. Just do your TA, man. Trust your TA. If you can't trust your TA to make a move, get a coin, bro. Put a coin on your desk. Flip it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you can't make a decision, it's fine. Leave it up to the coin. Thanks, man. Rico says, thanks, man. Is there one indicator or one thing you discovered that made you have confidence you can beat the market, be a trader when you were starting? So you can honestly trade without indicators. So I wouldn't say that you need, like, there's one indicator or one anything that'll tell you can beat the market. You can't beat the market. You can't. If I could predict every trade with 100% certainty, I, in all honesty, would probably be living on an island or something. I don't know. If I could predict the trade with 100% certainty, I don't know what I'd be doing. Probably not this. You just have to be confident in your ability to survive. So the difference between a good trader and a bad trader is a bad trader ceases to exist. He's gonna blow his account once or twice, gonna try again, and he's not gonna learn any risk management. You have to know how much you can lose. Like before you even take the trade, when you set up your risk to reward ratio, you know how much you're gonna lose. You have a stop loss in mind. You apply that to the balance you're about to put in this position, and if you can afford to lose that, then you'll be confident enough to take the trade. If you're in a position where taking a trade and the thought of a loss hurts you so much to where you can't take the position, you're trading with the wrong amount of money, too much money, for your skill set, or you have not trained your mentality properly. So, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. There's no such thing as, like, for me, it's not like the light bulb, there was never a moment where the light bulb just suddenly clicked on. I had realizations, and I could see that there's opportunity to be made in spreads. That was definitely a light bulb. But a confidence light bulb or something like that, for me, no. It was very gradual. I just got built up to it. As my balance grew, I became more confident, risking more money. Like at first, I remember I had balance one time. It was like less than $1,000, and I was trading with that, and I was like, dude, This is crazy to be trading. I had a real job at that point too. I was like, this is a crazy amount of money to be trading with. $1,000? You kidding me? But now, like I said, leverage basing here at $3,500. So, and I'm using $200 margin with 15x, but you're taking a loss on the position size of $3,500, and so I just got built up to it. There was never really a defining moment, I would say, for me, where it's just like, hey man, this gave me all the confidence I needed. I think just building up over time, looking at the strategies, reviewing my trader diary, trying to see like paying attention to losses helps. Paying attention to losses gives you a great advantage to remove them. So definitely have to be critical of yourself and analytical of yourself. No one wants. I don't like looking at the mirror. I got a mirror right here too, so I know what I look like. No one wants to look at themselves and think that they're like a loser or something like that. But you're not a loser. You just got to look at those losing trades and figure out how to delete them. If you keep repeating those mistakes, then sir, you are a loser and a bad trader. If you can remove them from your trading game, then you stop making the mistakes. You're going to make new mistakes, and you analyze those, and you remove those too. So be very critical and analytical of yourself, and that is how you can gain confidence. Even when you're starting, just go out and do it, bro. Just go trade. If it went wrong, understand why it went wrong. Don't just keep going and try to be right. When you are wrong, look at why you were wrong, and see how you can make that not happen again. See what the market looked like and try to avoid that. Does Uniswap have a mobile app? I don't know. I don't think they have an app from the App Store. Boitumelo asked if Uniswap has a mobile app. I don't think so. I think you just got to go on to like MetaMask browser. If you're on your phone, you can go to MetaMask and use the browser inside MetaMask to access Uniswap. If you're on your desktop, you can just go to Uniswap and have the MetaMask extension. Patrick, I had a coin once, but it was a chocolate coin. Let me guess, you ate it, didn't you? Yeah, you probably ate that coin, bro. Did you at least flip the coin to decide if you should eat it or not? I hope you did that. Thanks, last one. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry, bro. Keep them coming. I can hang out. So let me see. Thanks, last one. How many trades do you take per day on an average day as a day trader? It depends on what the market could give me. Sometimes I won't take any trades. Sometimes I can take, I don't know, just depending upon what comes up. I wouldn't say like taking 10 trades is a goal you should try to go for, but sometimes in a day I've taken more than 10 trades. I mean, just depending upon what I think I could get from the market. And sometimes too, I get caught up in this where I'm like, oh, I took a winning trade. Oh, the uptrend's going to continue. I'm going to go in. And then, oh, I lost. Now I got to make that money back or else I just wasted all this time. You get into all these different kind of emotional cycles, and for whatever reason, you might end up taking more or less trades. I can't say there was I can go back and analyze how many trades I've taken and find a mathematical average, but off the top of my head, I don't know. It ranges anywhere between like on an average day, I'd say anywhere between like 2 to 5 trades, probably 2 to 5 trades. The majority of them being scalps. If I sit and when I open up my chart in the morning and I look at what's going on, I usually try to plan ahead and say, okay, if I'm going to be taking a scalp here or there, or I mean not a scalp, a swing here or there, like what do I think price is going to do for the whole day, and then what do I think price is going to do for a week from now, things like that. That's kind of how I try to measure up, and then based off my weekly projections, I can take a position, and that could be one trade for the day, and I'll close it 4 or 5 days later. But during that day also, I'm still trying to scalp, stay busy. Maybe one of those scalps turns into, like I said, it doesn't have to stay a scalp. If I can ration that it's going well and in a really good market structure, I can turn a scalp into a really nice winning position. Really, really nice winning position. I've done that a couple times on accident. I just end up chasing something up way higher than I ever imagined it going. And it came from a scalp. It just depends on what the market gives me, sir. Just depends on what the market gives us. Trying to think of how else I can relate that. Yeah, so like same way if I'm turning a day trade, scalp trade into a day trade and I start writing it up, well then I'm focusing on this now so hard and I'm not taking any other positions. So that one scalp could turn into my only trade, or it could be my last trade. Yeah. So that's how it could also end up. That's how, like, I'm just sitting here trying to scalp, and then one of them ends up going good. So I stopped looking for other scalp positions. But in the event earlier, like if I was day trading, like how that trade went for the live stream, and I got stopped out, I'd be like, okay, let me see. I'll go look at something else and see. I need to let BTC chill out. I don't need to double tap it so quickly. Go look at some other altcoin, see if it's butted up somewhere, see if I can take another scalp. And then if it works out, if it goes according to my plan, good. I'll go find another trade. If it doesn't, good. I'll go find another trade. And if like I said, if I get in that position where I start chasing it up for profits, or if it's a short and start chasing it down, then great. I'll just pay attention to that, and that will be what I'm doing. Cool. Boy Tamello said, "How do you overcome FOMO, and then there is a big move in the market?" Well, I mean, at the beginning of the video, I think you can take, at the beginning of this live stream, we saw that the opportunity was passing us, and I didn't want to FOMO in. I would always say just do TA first. For me, it's easy now because I've blindly put into so many different trends just to get wrecked. You don't need to go through that. So just take it from me. Don't FOMO. Just don't FOMO. That's it. Simple. Very, 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 very easy. What do I do to keep my no FOMO. Don't FOMO. I see that retracted. Well, at least I got to answer it. Don't FOMO. Just always TA. If someone says, "Oh, this is pumping," do your TA. If you decide it's gonna pump more, get in. If you decide it's gonna short it. Always TA. Rico retracted a message too. Thanks for a great Friday evening. You're welcome, Patrick. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It says enjoyed a lot. I'm glad you enjoyed it, sir. And then Rico Duded, thanks, man. What do you do to keep your mind healthy as trading is a high stress activity? Bro, it is. It is really high stress activity. I'll set timers. I got my boy Oso here. That's my doggo. So me and Oso go for walks all day and just de-stress. I do other stuff too, like work on YouTube videos. I have a list of things that I do every day. I read blogs. Like for today, I still have to. Here's my TA. I did TA with you guys today. So now I still have to go learn for 30 minutes video learning. So I'll try to watch something on YouTube. I read today. I read for 30 minutes a day. So if I'm just too caught up trading, I'll go walk my dog, read a book, learn something else. I have to write blogs for Crypto University and for my own website. So I write blogs. I usually try to do 30 minutes a day. If I get into a position where like, oh, it's been like a week and I haven't had a blog out. It's not good to try to force cram that creativity out of my head. So I just try to write for a little bit each day. Sometimes it just starts flowing. I'll try to write for at least 30 minutes a day. If it's flowing, it's flowing. If I'm stuck, 30 minutes is 30 minutes. It's done. Yeah, that's my... I'm just looking at my to-do list right here for today. What did I already do today? Yeah, I already read... I go to the gym too, so I still have to go to the gym and stretch. So if I'm trying to, I'll just split all this up. I just know I have to get this all knocked out each day. I'll clean something too, try to. I hate cleaning the house like all at once. Like, oh, the house is so dirty, we need to spring clean. I'll try to clean at least 10 minutes a day. Like that really helps me. I like cleaning for 10 minutes. And then if I'm getting into my little scrub or whatever, it'll go. The other day I was cleaning for 10 minutes. And it was like, you know what? I got to do this. I got to do this. It ended up being 40 minutes. So I'm like, okay, this is enough cleaning for today. But yeah, that's just me. I'm a full-time day trader, and I work at home, so it's easy for me to go do stuff. Maybe for you, I don't know how you can chop this up for you. Maybe for you, just designate X amount of time for trading. If you're still working, if you still have other things to do in life, I understand, like with other responsibilities, it's hard to fit trading in. So just give yourself a little bit of a time. Like even at first, if it's only 30 minutes a day, the same way I have these sub tasks for me to do throughout the day, for you, maybe you can have like a 30-minute session. Like I'm going to trade for 30 minutes and that's it, And then, hey, you didn't get overstressed or anything like that. Yeah, that's how I could keep my mind healthy. That's how I would suggest it. Don't ever... And also, too, don't put more money in here that you can afford to lose. That is going to be a biggest stress. Bro, I go to sleep every night, and my girlfriend, first thing I do, I come check the charts, and she's like, number go up, number go down. It's funny, bro. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care if number goes up or number goes down. I'm tethered in on my trading account. I'm not risking more than I can afford to lose. I have my savings account completely set, not a bank account, my ledger wallet balance, Bitcoin balance, completely separate from trading, and I don't care what happens with Bitcoin on that. So you have to figure everything out before you decide this is what you want to do, because I have everything figured out and pretty stress-free. When I'm in the trade, that's when I'm stressed out, but it's easy for me to step away, and that's kind of how I do it. Johnny, hello Edward, just got in, looking forward to the show. Johnny, I'm so sorry, bro. The show's been active for like 2 hours, man. We did a bunch of charting. We got a trade knocked out. I missed out on an opportunity, so I'm really sorry, brother. We're about to wrap it up here soon. You can rewatch the stream, or I will schedule the next one for next week too. So check in on the scheduled stream. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to take my dog for a walk, and then I'll get the next one scheduled. So you can check the time for that, brother, and try to come a little bit earlier and be there for the beginning of the show. Boytamillo said, I'm also enjoying it. Friday made. That's what's up, bro. Let's go. Happy Friday. I should clean for 10 minutes a week. Yeah, you'd be surprised. I mean, keeps the house looking good. Keeps my mind like, I'm kind of a germaphobe. So, I don't know. We take our shoes off when we come inside the house. So, if that says anything. But, yeah, I just... It's easy. Getting distracted for 10 minutes, you can clean for 10 minutes a day, bro. Really easy. A lot of people I mentored said, oh, let me see. Since the crypto market is 24 hours, do you follow a schedule or do you have a routine? Rico, I think I kind of went through my routine. So I have a bunch of subtasks that I know I have to do each day. So when I'm getting overwhelmed trading or just trying to fit those in, like generally my subtasks amount to about 3.5 to 4 hours worth of activity per day. So I just break it up over the day, see where I can get in. Usually in the morning is where I like to read and video learn, because my mind's just waking up and I'm able to process new information. So I like to read and video learn. So like those are usually what I do in the morning. And like I said, I just distribute my tasks throughout the day between trading. So I know I have to do this for this time frame, and that's how I'll get it done. I don't exactly just say, it's not like a school routine, like at 9 a.m. I go trade. At 11:45 I have lunch. At 1:45 I go do write blog. That's not exactly how it is for me. I hate repetition. So I just try to break things up, what feels natural for me. Patrick says, a lot of people we mentored for software engineering had extreme amount of stress. Recommend them only to leave to-do lists on the table. You leave table and it stays there, not in your head. That's really good. My to-do list is on my phone. It's definitely on my head a lot. So maybe I'll have to leave my to-do list at the table. But same thing, 24-hour, crypto market's 24 hours. So, I mean, personally, I feel like I have very unorthodox hours of doing stuff. Like, I'll stay up sometimes. Not every day. Not every day at all. But sometimes I'll stay up late working. So I don't know how that would work for me. And by working, I just mean trading or trying to accomplish some other task. So I'll give it a shot. I'm not really sure, but I'll give it a shot. See how it works. If I become too unproductive, I'll keep it back on my phone. But I do like that idea. Solid idea. Shitters, I'll rewind now. Thanks, buddy. Awesome, Johnny. Thank you for rewinding. That means a lot to me. While you're watching this, I'm going to end it. So I don't know what that's going to do for you, Johnny, but thank you, sir, for popping up, even if it was late. Thank you for rewinding. Thanks to everyone who came. Thanks for all your questions that you asked. You're spending your time with me. I'm glad that I got to give you a good Friday. I'm glad we got to get a trade executed. Hopefully, in the future, we don't eat too much butt together, and I can continue to provide. It's really just my analysis, what I'm looking at, and when the market's happening. So, in the future, maybe we can get into a better market structure and have more confidence in some of these positions, because honestly, a lot of the times I'm on the live stream, I'm trying to force things, and I don't feel too comfortable in in a lot of the positions I'm taking, but I know it's just because I'm trying to make something happen here for you guys, so you can see what it's like inside my head, inside the head of a trader while it's happening. So, toning down the values and stuff, since it's a live engagement situation. But yeah, hopefully next time we have better market structure to work with. I hope you all have a great weekend. No drinking and driving. Make sure you call your mother if you haven't called her in a while and tell her you love her. because she misses you and she loves you. You're her baby boy. You're her little boy. Her little girl. So give her a call and be good to each other. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.